Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Bringing in Malcolm Brogdon will bring balance to the Warriors roster. Malcolm Brogdon would alleviate a significant burden from Stephen Curry. The Golden State Warriors have built a roster that can easily contend, but with no margin for error. Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green are three of the best postseason players of their time, but question marks exist beyond that Hall of Fame trio. Thankfully for the Warriors, there's a veteran free agent who could instantly elevate the roster and simplify the game for Curry, Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon is a decorated player who has made 5 postseason appearances while playing major minutes. He won the 2022-23 Sixth Man of the Year award and took home Rookie of the Year honors in 2016-17. Unfortunately, injury-plagued 2023-24 and 2024-25 campaigns have relegated Brogdon to midsummer free agency. Thankfully for the Warriors, that could mean the door is wide open for a signing they should seriously consider. Brogdon has the skill set to act as an ideal complement and backup to Curry, and could potentially be signed for a minimal cost. The risks are unavoidable, but if the Warriors take a chance on Brogdon, it could pay dividends as they look to compete for a championship in 2025-26. Malcolm Brogdon could transform second unit, with obvious caveats. The unfortunate element of the Warriors potentially signing Brogdon is that they're limited in their financial flexibility. The one thing working against the veteran guard, however, may be Golden State's saving grace if the goal is to offer the veteran minimum. Brogdon has appeared in just 63 games over the past 2 seasons, due in no small part to the surgery he underwent to repair ligament damage in his right thumb ahead of the 2024-25 season. With this in mind, there's inevitable risk when it comes to bringing Brogdon to a team that's searching for stability along the second unit. The upside of such a signing, however, could be enough to elevate Golden State to a higher tier of contenders. When healthy, Brogdon is one of the most well-rounded guards in the NBA, possessing the ability to shoot the lights out, create consistent penetration, and facilitate at a starting caliber level. Furthermore, Brogdon boasts strong defensive instincts that would seemingly fit what the Warriors are attempting to build. It's unclear what type of defender he can still be at 32 years of age, let alone after spending so much time off the court over the past 2 years. The versatility that he's displayed when healthy, however, has made him a valuable contributor to postseason teams, on both ends of the floor. When healthy, Malcolm Brogdon does it all. Despite the injuries he's endured, Brogdon remains one of the most patient and effective dribble penetrators in the NBA. He's averaged no fewer than 11.4 drives per game over the past 3 seasons, shooting no worse than 48.8% in such scenarios. Brogdon is also a career 38.8% shooter from beyond the arc, with 4 different seasons above 40% and a history of elite proficiency in catch-and-shoot situations. Brogdon shot 37.1% on catch-and-shoot threes in 2024-25, which is impressive considering he missed extensive time due to the aforementioned thumb surgery. He shot at least 44.2% on catch-and-shoot threes in 4 of the previous 6 seasons. With on- and off-ball value as a scorer, the Warriors could finally generate efficient production from a guard other than Curry and Brandon Podziemski. Brogdon also boasts career averages of 4.7 assists to 1.7 turnovers per game, and 5.8 assists to 2.1 turnovers per 36 minutes. That responsible productivity as a passer would offer yet another layer of protection for Curry in regard to how he functions within the offense and the pressure that could be alleviated from him. It remains unclear if Brogdon would accept a minimum contract offer, but if the Warriors can come to terms with him, it would be a high-risk, high-reward signing at a minimal cost. Warriors' controversial offseason strategy reveals how they value Brandon Podziemski. Brandon Podziemski appears to have made Jonathan Kuminga expendable. The Golden State Warriors are in the midst of an offseason that has simultaneously puzzled onlookers and revealed their priorities. With August approaching, Golden State still hasn't re-signed Jonathan Kuminga, and as such, has yet to make any other move at all. With this polarizing strategy continuing to limit the Warriors' flexibility, all eyes are on who the franchise can add, but perhaps the real question is what it means for those on the roster. Kuminga has become a polarizing figure, capable of scoring with explosive volume but lacking consistency in other phases of the game. Multiple parties shoulder blame for the way his development has been handled, but the bottom line remains that the fit is questionable, at best. In the event that Kuminga leaves via free agency, many expect the Warriors to sign Al Horford to shore up the center position. Barring a sign-and trade, which is an admittedly viable outcome, that would still leave Golden State without an ideal replacement for Kuminga and his valuable scoring presence. Even if a sign-and trade is conducted, the outcome could still remain the same. For as troubling a thought as that may be, there's one explanation that could either put minds at ease or create more concern. Golden State believes Brandon Podziemski can make a leap. Warriors appear to be banking on Brandon Podziemski making the leap. Podziemski, 22, has been the Warriors' primary NBA draft success story amidst a sea of criticism for their approach to internal development during the 2020s. He finished in the top 5 in Rookie of the Year voting in 2023-24 and continued to emerge as a well-rounded player in 2024-25. Podziemski finished the 2024-25 regular season averaging 11.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.8 three-point field goals made in 26.8 minutes per game on .445/.372/.758 shooting. Podziemski struggled to find his shot during the 2025 NBA playoffs, compiling a slash line of .364/.328/.708. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr empowered the up-and-comer to play through his struggles, however, handing him 32.1 minutes per game during the postseason. That increase in playing time seemed to represent a shift toward prioritizing Podziemski as a key contributor alongside Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green. It was a shift that quietly took hold during the later stages of the 2024-25 regular season, particularly after Golden State traded for Butler. In his 36 appearances before the Butler trade, Podziemski averaged 24.1 minutes per game. In the 28 games that he played after the Warriors traded for Butler on February 5, however, that number skyrocketed to 30.4 minutes per contest. Brandon Podziemski epitomizes how Warriors are prioritizing fit. Podziemski thrived in his new role, averaging 15.3 points, 5.9 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.2 steals, and 2.4 three-point field goals made on .457/.402/.727 shooting after the Butler trade. He did so by moving without the ball, finding holes in the defense to punish opponents in catch-and-shoot situations. While Kuminga shot 34.8% on catch-and-shoot threes, Podziemski buried 39.7% of his attempts, including an elite 42.7% after the Butler trade. In addition to using a somehow effective set shot to stretch the floor, Podziemski made his mark by attacking closeouts and finishing with crafty southpaw floaters and layups. He also further solidified his status as a commendable passer who was willing and able to create for his teammates. In the process, Podziemski may have inadvertently convinced the Warriors that Kuminga is expendable, or, at the very least, that they already have an ideal complement worth prioritizing. Kuminga and Podziemski are by no means carbon copies of one another, but if Golden State's offseason strategy proves anything, it's that the Warriors believe so strongly in the personnel in place that re-signing a former top 10 pick is no longer a top priority for them. Kuminga may yet return, but Podziemski appears to epitomize what the Warriors want from their supporting cast. Warriors' biggest question mark has challenged future to arrive early. The Warriors need their young centers to prove they can handle meaningful postseason minutes. The Golden State Warriors have spent the better part of the past 10 years relying on Kevin Looney for often undervalued contributions. Respected internally and arguably disrespected outside of the Warriors' ecosystem, Looney was a crucial contributor who helped anchor the interior. With Looney signing with the New Orleans Pelicans earlier in the 2025 offseason, however, the Warriors suddenly have a burning question to answer: is the current talent at center sufficient? Looney's minutes decreased over time as Golden State created a committee at center that hasn't placed an emphasis on a specific individual to complement Draymond Green. As such, a gradual progression toward replacing the veteran has admittedly been at play. The unfortunate reality emerging from the 2025 NBA playoffs, however, is that the Warriors still haven't found the ideal player to fill Looney's shoes. Tracy Jackson-Davis and Quinton Post are the current representatives of the Warriors' plan to win without Looney. Both averaged more minutes than Looney during the 2024-25 regular season, thus implying that this problem may already be resolved. If the postseason proved anything, however, it's that neither Jackson-Davis nor Post were ready to provide the value the Warriors came to expect from Looney during their title-winning years. Warriors' current centers struggled mightily during 2025 NBA playoffs. Looney averaged 15.0 minutes per game during the 2024-25 regular season, which trailed Post's 16.3 and Jackson-Davis 15.6. With just under 32 minutes per game already being played by Jackson-Davis and Post, it stands to reason that they can collaborate to provide ideal value. Post averaged just 12.2 minutes per game during the playoffs, however, while Jackson-Davis saw a mere 8.9, and the numbers support head coach Steve Kerr's decision. Golden State was outscored by 15.0 points per 100 possessions when Jackson-Davis was on the court during the 2025 NBA playoffs. The Warriors' net rating improved to -2.0 when he was off the court, thus revealing a massive 13.0-point swing on a per 100 possessions basis. Golden State was only 1.2 points per 100 possessions better without Post, but his limited playing time and inability to fill the rebounding void at just 7.8 per 36 minutes poses questions. Thankfully, Jackson-Davis and Post are both still just 25 years of age, thus suggesting their best years are still ahead of them. Unfortunately, the Warriors have left themselves with no margin for error as they prepare for the 2025-26 season. If Jackson-Davis and Post aren't the answer, and a potential Jonathan Kuminga sign-and trade can't yield an ideal return to fortify the position, Kerr will have to lean on the talent currently at his disposal. Post has offered early reason for intrigue after averaging 17.8 points and 3.8 three-point field goals made per 36 minutes on 40.8% shooting from beyond the arc as a rookie. Jackson-Davis, meanwhile, has averaged 16.3 points, 11.2 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 2.0 blocks per 36 minutes through 2 seasons. If the Warriors are going to turn the 2025-26 season into a championship-caliber campaign, however, both Jackson-Davis and Post will need to prove that they can play the type of minutes that have thus far eluded them. New competition may have emerged for the Warriors' biggest free agent target. As the Golden State Warriors have looked to bolster their roster this offseason, the uncertainty surrounding the Jonathan Kuminga situation has put the organization's pursuit of their primarily rumored free agent targets, Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton, on hold. Yet, as reported by Jake Fisher on the Stein Line, the Milwaukee Bucks are also in the market for a perimeter defender. While Fisher does not mention Melton by name, it is quite possible that the Bucks, in their hunt for defensive assistants, could poach Melton from the stagnant Warriors. Therefore, while Golden State may plausibly have handshake deals in place with Melton and Horford, they could be doing damage to themselves the longer they wait to make these deals official. The Milwaukee Bucks could be on the market for a defensive guard. As reported by Fisher, and reiterated by Mark Stein in his latest edition of the Stein Line newsletter, Milwaukee was involved in trade discussions involving veteran guard Marcus Smart around the time of the NBA draft. Smart, who was ultimately bought out by the Washington Wizards and chose to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers, was evidently a hot commodity on a limited market for dependable guards. According to Stein, in addition to the Bucks, the Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks also had interest in Smart.